The Innovators Network.
Welcome to the Killer Innovation Show, the longest continuously produced podcast in history. Each week, Phil McKinney brings you the insights and strategies to amplify your creativity and innovation skills. Here's your host, Phil McKinney. This episode is sponsored by Zoom. With Zoom, you can streamline your communication, collaboration, and creativity all in one place. Zoom is the market-leading platform that provides video meetings, voice, webinars, and chat across desktops, phones, tablets, and conference room systems. To learn more about Zoom and sign up for your free account, visit killerinnovations.com/Zoom.
If I could deliver one message to managers, executives, politicians, organizations in general, it would be to stop performing innovation theater. As someone who's seen a lot of organizations grow to success and also have seen and been a part of organizations that have failed, there is one common factor that I think applies, and I'm pretty confident applies to all the failures. And that is they fail in their innovation efforts because leaders, their management, their organization would rather do innovation theater, project like they're doing innovation, rather than doing the hard work, the authentic work that it takes to develop innovation. Today, I'm going to dive into the smoke and mirrors of innovation theater. I'll be sharing some examples. That always gets me into trouble. The colossal risk it creates for organizations. And more importantly, how you can spot it. At the end, we'll talk about the benefits of doing the hard work of true, authentic innovation. Kind of a contrast between innovation theater and doing the real work. So trust me, understanding this could change the way you see companies, their products, and more importantly, if you're into innovation, your ability to pick out the right company that you want to work for. Are they true innovators or are they into innovation theater? So stick around. But before we jump into this week's episode, don't forget to subscribe, hit the subscribe button. And also, if you're not receiving the free weekly newsletter, hop on over to the blog over at philmckinney.com, click on subscribe. Now, let's dive in to this week's episode. So what is it I mean by innovation theater? Well, innovation theater is driven by a completely different kind of motivation from true innovation. Innovation theater is about they want to secure the press, the prestige, the buzz, the ability to attract investors without doing the long, deep, really hard work that is required for innovation. I saw this when I retired from my role as CTO at HP, where I've lost count of how many companies wanted me to step in and help them establish, quote, their innovation lab in Silicon Valley. And when you really dig into it, they weren't really interested in innovation. They just wanted someplace glitzy and something they could show off. They could issue a press release. They could look hip and cool, doing cool things in Silicon Valley. That is what they wanted. They wanted the buzz without the hard work. So, how do you find or identify those that want to do innovation theater? Well, like I said, they're doing the flashy innovation labs. They want prime locations. They're touting, top facilities. What's shocking to me is they're actually spending more money on the building and the furniture than they're actually investing in the innovation. That tells you something. The second most common example of innovation theater is doing hackathons with no follow-through. I lost track of how many hackathons that are out there. People promoting them, issuing press releases. You see them on social media all the time. And then when you follow up or you contact them and say, hey, what was the result of the hackathon and where is it a year later? Nothing. Nothing came of it. Looks good, sounds good. This does apply not just for external purposes, but it also is innovation theater for your teams. Are you running internal hackathons? A day of innovation or whatever you want to call it, where you give people the day to go off and come up with and work on and develop ideas. How many of those have actually been funded and turned into real work? Not many. It's that feel good, that once a year, let's do an innovation day for our staff. Nothing happens from it. The third most common example of an innovation theater is announcing disruptive products way before they're developed. But the fact of the matter is they're announcing things that never launch. This is prevalent. It's what in the, back in the day when I was doing software products a lot, we would refer to as vaporware. It would just never materialize. You get a lot of press, no follow through, and then it just quietly disappears and it goes away. Now, in this case, these vaporware projects have gotten a lot of press, got a lot of prestige, a lot of interest, but they never materialized. We saw this a lot in Kickstarters, where you had the Kickstarter kickoff, people would throw their money in, and then they would totally blow up. Now, I will have to say that Kickstarter has done a great job of being able to kind of try to prevent that, not allowing it to get, become, become the projects that have totally blow up. But then again, they still happen. The fourth most common example of innovation theater is frequent rebranding of their innovation initiatives. It's what I refer to as innovation by marketing. Innovation by marketing basically is we're going to name it, we're going to put out a really cool, funky logo on it. It projects the illusion of progress without really making any what I would call any form of advances. It is, basically pure posturing. And in some cases, I've seen technology companies take a product that's maybe even old or one that's about to come out, but there's some new hot buzzword, AI being the perfect example right now, where they'll completely recast an innovation effort or a product effort and just tack on the AI label onto it, just because it's the closest product to some kind of a product launch. That is still innovation theater. Number 5, adopting buzzwords with no real strategy. Buzzword bingo, live and well in the innovation game. We've seen it. Blockchain, AI, now it's quantum all over the place. It's more of a corporate communication strategy. Just like they're doing keyword searching for their SEO or social media to get followers and likes on what your social media team, then all of a sudden they want to take those keywords, those buzzwords, and apply them as strategy back into the organization. It attempts to create a facade of innovation that just does not exist. It is an attempt to put what I refer to sometimes is lipsticks on a pig, and that is not innovation. And number 6, and the one that I have run into more times than I would care to count, and that is treating innovation funding and resourcing as optional. It can't be. Innovation is not a strategy. Innovation is a survival tactic. You need innovation in order to survive. If you don't develop those new innovations, you will fail. You will find yourself out of business. And what we see is, and I've seen this happen, where organizations treat innovation funding as optional. I know of one organization that has gone through, I don't know, in the last decade, they've probably gone through 8 chief innovation officers, blew up the budget, shrunk it, hire a new chief innovation officer, give that person half the budget, let them go for about a year, blow it up, shrink it down, hire a new chief innovation officer of half the budget again, and it becomes this constant slide to innovation death. Innovation resourcing is not optional. And what I've seen is people try to use innovation funding, and they can reduce it, shrink it, or increase it in some cases based on budget or quarterly results. Oh, we got a tough quarter. We're having a tough year, the annual budget process. Let's just squeeze this down a little bit. We're asking everybody to take a 10% cut. You start squeezing and not treating innovation as a survival strategy, it basically signals to your organization you are not interested in surviving. And that becomes a real clear message to your team. I've been involved, albeit not where I'm at now, because I have the benefit that I'm a CEO, and therefore I have drawn a really hard, bright line around our innovation strategy, our innovation budget, and that includes funding for what we call the Ideas Fund, which is unallocated dollars that people can pitch to take money from. We have a set amount every year that's unallocated. We never touch the amount is the same. And the second, cannot violate, do not touch, is our intellectual property budget. If we develop the innovations, we will patent it. And so therefore the 2 key areas for us is the funding for new ideas, new projects, not having to wait to the budget. We have a set aside allocation of dollars, and our patent funding do not get touched, do not get played with, don't get shrunk based on some result that's happening. So for us, that's how we treat it. Now, I've seen it though in the past, and I've been the what do you want to call it, the recipient or the victim of other CEOs who want to start, stop, pause projects to basically groom the spend. You know, okay, we're month 2 of the quarter results, sales aren't going to look that good. We're going to stop and shut down all procurement for the last 30 days. It's basically an artificial approach to conserve cash, but it has a hugely negative effect inside the organization. So what are some examples of real innovation that are out there that I would hold up as real examples? Well, I would hold up Tesla. Its relentless focus on vehicle technology and its energy solutions, their ability not to take parts from others, but to truly innovate is really unique. And you've heard, if you've been a follower of this channel for a while, you've heard me talk about Elon. I've had the benefit of having a number of one-on-one discussions with him back when I was in my HP days. I've always been a fan of Elon's when it comes to his innovation efforts. Now, in this case, with Tesla, their commitment has really developed to some leading-edge technologies, how they do their battery packs, how they develop their software, and how they've translated that into renewables, whether that be the solar shingles or the house battery packs, etc. And what's really interesting from a Tesla, and I don't think they get enough credit for this, is the licensing of their patents is free, $0. For them, it's not about invention. Invention does not guarantee you the ability to be successful. It's about execution. And so his belief is look, I'll license the patents for free, but nobody else is going to execute like he does. So even if he gave his patents away for free, you're not going to catch him. He is going to out-execute everybody and anyone that is out there. So what's an example of innovation theater? Now, I could list literally hundreds of companies. Probably get myself in a fair amount of trouble. So I'm going to take an obvious one just to use it as an example. But you can think about a lot of other ones that are out there that have suffered this. And we're going to talk about Theranos. So the blood testing company that totally blew up, and the CEO and chairman end up, being sent to prison. Had investors like, had leading government officials on as investors. It basically claimed to revolutionized blood testing with some groundbreaking technology that only needed a couple drops of blood in order to do the testing. Fact of the matter is, it was theater. The technology never worked. Never worked. The company garnered immense media attention. Their CEO was chased and invited to speak at all kinds of events, on the front cover of all the big magazines, attracting all kinds of investors and corporate partners such as drugstores and etc. And it basically created the facade of advancement with no substance to back it up. Theranos is the poster child for innovation theater. So what are the drawbacks of operating when you're operating in innovation theater? Well, one is you're wasting resources and investments. You're going to buy the new building, you're doing really nice, cool, innovative furniture, but you're focused on that appearance rather than genuine innovation. You're allocating humans, your HR team is allocating your human resources, your people, to do fake innovation. What the heck is that all about? Versus get out of the theater, reallocate your dollars, and put your people on true innovation. Another bad result is lack of sustainable progress. You get some short-term gains because of some publicity, but they do not translate into long-term innovation or market success. And basically, you get on this treadmill. It's almost like a constant demonstration treadmill. And then, really, the absence of real innovation stifles any competitive advantage you can create. And in fact, in what we're seeing in Silicon Valley right now is a lot of those glitzy, shiny innovation labs are all being shut down. Teams are being canceled, and they're posturing in the press. They're saying, well, what we're really saying is we're not stopping innovation, but we think everybody in our organization should innovate. So we're going to integrate innovation into everything we do. Well, let me know how that goes for you. One of the other areas that's a negative result from innovation theater is damaged reputation. When you have a lack of substance, people are going to figure it out. It's not hard. When they don't see any real impact after year 2, 3, 4, 5, guess what? It's fake. And it like I said, people will find it out. You cannot fake it for very long. But once you've lost your reputation, regaining reputation is almost impossible. You have to change out the entire leadership organization because they let it happen, and it's going to require new leaders who are true innovators to come in order to transform that organization. Another negative, which is quite obvious, which is missed opportunities. If you're focusing on theater, you don't have the resources that would create the new ideas. You're getting hung up on this old stuff, and you're missing out on opportunities. The real challenge is your competitors are not. Your competitors who are innovating are going to smoke you. They're going to leave you in the dust, if you don't get going. Another negative is cultural impact. You're basically creating a culture that values style over substance. And your people are not stupid. People on the teams are not stupid. You're not stupid, right? If you're in an organization that's playing innovation theater, you already know it, right? If you're thinking of going to work for some organization that's playing innovation theater, you can sniff it out, right? Be aware. It has a huge cultural impact. And it prevents you from developing a deep culture of innovation. Employees will become cynical, they're going to disengage, they're going to recognize that there's a lack of commitment. So as leaders stand up there and tout the innovation message, or the annual shareholders letter has 25 mentions of innovation, the staff is sitting behind going BS. Another negative is the financial consequences. Shareholders are going to figure out that whatever you're putting into innovation, they're not seeing the results. So what happens? They get pressured to stop that work. And to be quite honest, if you start off saying, we're going to do a little bit of theater to kind of get going, but then we're going to do the real innovation, the resource requirements to play that kind of game is wasted. What you need to do is just set expectations. We're going to launch an innovation effort. We're going to start creating a pipeline of ideas. And our normal pipeline cycle, call it 3 years. So guess what, shareholder? You're not going to see anything for 4 to 5 years. And now you need a CEO who's going to stand behind that, back up that team, and go forward. So those are the issues of what the downside risk. So what's the counter? If you do real, genuine innovation, what's the counter? Well, one is a sustainable success. If you do genuine innovation, then you're creating a pipeline. You're going to create a series of innovations that are going to feed your organization. And it's going to allow you to, throughout your organization, to quickly have a way of communicating and prioritizing the work when you truly have a culture of innovation. Real, genuine innovation allows you to have industry leadership. It's not about the press release or, closing a funding deal or, making yourself look good because your competitor announced something, so you feel the pressure that you have to announce something. Doing true, authentic innovation is what will enable you to be an industry leader. If you are not doing authentic and you want to be an industry leader and you're doing innovation theater, not going to happen. The other benefit is better resource allocation. If people understand what the purpose is, the priority is, understand the mission around innovation, I will say that your people will be highly more productive doing that because it'll ignite their passion versus playing this game of innovation theater. The positive also is if you're doing authentic innovation is culture. It fosters a culture of critical thinking and continuous innovation. It feeds the engine. And that's what organizations should be doing, and it's the type of organizations people want to join. They want to be part of that. It also, the benefit of authentic innovation, it builds trust. You start seeing real results. It builds trust with your customers, your investors, your people, your staff. It really establishes that level of trust. So it also allows you to, the whole issue of if you're doing truly authentic innovation, it is really around avoiding some of the pitfalls. If you're doing theater, you're really not out looking for the future. If you're doing real authentic, you are looking out there and figuring out where do you need to play or where there's risk to your business, and you can avoid those pitfalls. But if you got people just doing 1 to 2 years out and playing the game, and you're going to get surprised by some big problem. So, if you want, one of the things I could imagine you're asking is, okay, this has been great, but what are all the pieces that I need to have to be successful in innovation? You're a chief innovation officer, you're a manager that's been tasked for innovation, or you're just an innovator and you're starting your own organization. What I would encourage you to do is check out, I've got a video posted, released it, a couple of months ago. It's actually a video I've had for a while that I use in the course I teach called the Innovation Bootcamp. It's called The 7 Secrets to Innovation. You can find it here on the YouTube channel. There's also an audio podcast version of it. So if you prefer the audio, you can go find it over at Killer Innovations, or you can go to YouTube. And it gives you the 7 laws of innovation. It includes leadership. What do leaders need to be doing? Patience. Innovation takes a while. You got to be willing to be patient. Resourcing. How do you resource people, time, and money to be successful in innovation? Execution. How do you execute on your innovation? Ideas without execution is a hobby, and I'm not in the hobby business. As an innovator, you should not be in the hobby business. So, as we wrap up, what I would ask is drop a comment. Share your own experiences with Innovation Theater. I can't be the only one. This has been a topic that's been frustrating for me for quite some time. So have you encountered examples either in your professional, personal life? Share it. Probably, I would suggest you not name names of organizations unless you feel very comfortable, but more about some of the things and what were the flags that popped in your head that said this organization, this company, or the company I'm working with or whatever is playing Innovation Theater. And the reason I'm asking is because it's your thoughts, your input, your experiences that help us, as a community, learn more about innovation and what does that really mean. I would also ask is that if you benefited from the episode, help us spread the word. Share this episode. Send it to your boss if you need to change the philosophy of innovation in your organization. But if you really like this episode, subscribe to this channel and help build a community dedicated to meaningful innovation. That's why we do this. We're now in our 20th season. Yes, we've been doing this for 20 years as the podcast. And it's not a moneymaker. We don't make money. You can sponsor us and support the channel. That actually allows me to bring on some staff. I have a small staff team now that's supported by sponsorships. But I can put out more videos, put out more content. None of the money comes to me. It goes to the staff. Anything left over at the end of the year gets donated to charity, hackingautism.org, or the high school that we're building in Rwanda, Africa. So no money comes to me. But if you're interested and you want to financially support the channel and support what the work we do and help us produce more content, then hop on over to filmmechanic.com, click on membership, and you'll see an option where you can provide some financial support to help us continue what we've been doing here and actually be able to produce more content for you. So thanks again for your time. Thanks again for your support. Hopefully you found today's topic interesting. Until next time, keep innovating authentically. Bye-bye.
Podcasting nonstop since 2005, this has been the Killer Innovation Show on the Innovators Network.
This show is distributed by the Innovators Network. For more information and other great shows and content, visit theinnovators.network.